Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is my first fall video of 2025, so let's get right into the video. Okay, so we're gonna start with these square cork coasters that I purchased from Hobby Lobby. You get 6 in a pack, and I have been waiting to do something with these. Have had them for a while. Okay, sorry for the noise. I have had these for a while and I've been waiting to do something with them, and I thought this would be the perfect time to open the pack up. So we have the coaster here. I am going to quickly weed this out. Oh, actually, so I need to weed it this way. Usually you would weed how I was starting to weed to take off all the surrounding area, but I am going to be using this as a stencil. So I don't need this portion, and I just found this simple leaf from Design Space, and now I can take this off. Should I take it off like this? Yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and do it like this. I could have used transfer tape, but since it's only one image in here, I figure why not just peel it off. Okay, let's see. Going to lay this down. Try to center it as best as possible. And this is Oracle 651, which is their permanent vinyl. You could use stencil vinyl. I don't particularly care for it. So whenever I do need to make a stencil, I just go ahead and use whatever permanent vinyl I have on hand. It works very well. And the other thing is, to me, it just sticks better. So we've got it on. I'm gonna just put this over it really quickly so I don't ruin the vinyl as I burnish. You just want to make sure that it's fully on your blank, whatever you might be using a stencil for, so you don't get any seeping of paint or whatever you might be working with. All right, bring in the parchment paper, just put this on top, and then I have some paint here from Michaels. It's their satin acrylic paint, and it's their brand, the Craft Smart brand. And I'm just gonna go ahead and pour just a bit here on the side. And then I have a little sponge brush, and I'm gonna go ahead and paint this. And I decided to do this project first so it'll have time to dry while we're doing the other projects. So I think I have this coated really well. I'm gonna sit this off to the side and let it dry and bring in the next project. Okay, so if you've been following me for some time now, you know that I make keychains for each season and I sublimate them. I started doing this last fall. And here's the keychain that I made last fall to start off this whole keychain thing every season. And I loved it. It still looks good. It's a little bit worn from hanging on my pouch. That's where I keep them. So this is a new fall season, and I have to make a new keychain. And I get these keychains from Michaels. You can sublimate on them, of course, with sublimation, you can always use infusible ink sheets. And you don't even have to sublimate on them. In the video that I did last fall, I actually used one of these keychains and I did vinyl on it. So just because it says sublimation doesn't mean that's the only thing you can use it for. So I am going to get this cut, get these registration lines cut off. Yes, I could have had my Cricut cut out the design, but I really wanted more space around the design, so I just figured, you know what, I'll just go ahead and cut off the registration lines. It's not that big of a deal, just so I can have that extra white space around both of the designs. And I'm going to sublimate both sides. This is why I have two. So let's cut this in half. And I have these parchment paper sheets that I purchased from Dollar Tree. They're perfect for small projects like this. And I do want to get this wiped off. So I'm just going to go ahead and use some paper towel and rubbing alcohol to quickly wipe this down on both sides. And with sublimation, you need to use sublimation paper, sublimation ink, and a sublimation blank as well. And you always want to make sure that your project is clear of any dust or debris, because any lint that is left on any sublimation blank will show up on your project, and it'll show up as a blue dot. So first I'm going to put this down, get it where I want it to be. I think right there should be good. Let's see. Yes, that, I might want to move it over just a tiny bit. Okay, I always get nervous about flipping this over because I always feel like when I flip it over, it shifts a little bit. So I'm gonna try to flip it over and have it not shift. Okay, so I'm going to add some heat resistant tape. And when you're putting anything in your heat press or putting your heat press on anything, if you have to use any tape, you want to use heat resistant tape, because heat resistant tape can withstand the temperatures of your heat press while regular tape cannot. Okay, so now that I have this taped to my parchment paper, I'm going to take the design that will go on the other side, as well as my heat resistant tape, over to the heat press, because once this side presses, I'm just going to go ahead and flip it over. So let's head over to the heat press. Okay, so I have my keychain out of the heat press. It's a little warm, but I can touch it. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull off the sublimation paper. Just so you know, when you're sublimating, you do want to have some sort of protective gloves, as you saw me use. And I also just followed the temperature and time that was given in the instructions. Although I don't have the instructions anymore. I just went on Michael's website and found the instructions there. All right, let's see how it came out. Yes. Look at that. It looks so good. And it says cozy season. And it is books in the shape of a pumpkin. It looks really, really good. And what you can do is you take this little plastic piece that comes with it and you put it here. And you put the ring that comes with it on. And then you just go ahead and snap the plastic piece in. It is a little bit, you got to give it some strength, but it's not too bad at all. And there we go. And this is ready to go on my pouch for the fall season. All right, let's move on to the next project. Before we move on to the next project, this is just about dry, and I want to take this off before it's like 100% dry. So let's see how our leaf turned out. Yes, it came out so good. Okay, so it did bleed a little bit right here, and the edges are not sharp and perfect, but I think that is a good thing, mainly because there are no leaves that are, 100% perfect, or it's perfect in its own way, if you want to say it like that. Not every leaf looks the same, but I think this came out so good. I'm gonna sit it off to the side so it can continue to dry, but it looks really good. Okay, so I got this wood hanging decor from Dollar Tree. As you can see, I already took this off because I actually painted this. This came with this bear color here. I painted it with this color Cocoa Bean, which I believe this crafter's collection is from Hobby Lobby. So this is the brown that I use to paint this. So I can take this off. And I have an area in my craft space where I change out the wall hanging sign for every season. Or in like the case of Christmas, I change that out for the holiday as well. So it is time to take down the summer one I made and get a fall one up. I'm going to weed this out. And all right, this is definitely going to take some time to weed out. There's a lot of words on, a good number of words on here, I should say. And I found this design in Design Space. Yes, I found this in Design Space. So if you're looking for anything that I've used in the video, you can definitely look down in the description box to find it, that information. So I'm going to go ahead and read this out because it is definitely going to take some time. And I'll put on music as I do so. Okay, so I have two more to pull out of the middles. This definitely took some time to weed. And whew, is what I'm going to say. It definitely took time to weed. All right, but I have it all weeded out now. And in the middle, it says fall, and then it says pumpkins, falling leaves, bonfires, sweaters, hay rides. Actually, I don't want to use this transfer tape for this. I want to use this one instead. Because I'm putting it up against this paint, and that transfer tape has a lot of tack to it, and I don't want it to ruin my paint. So we're just gonna go with this instead. Let's flip it and let's go this direction. So hopefully I can push it down as I pull it away from the backing. Okay, this is going okay. We had a couple of the letters in the beginning that didn't adhere as well, but this is pretty good. Perfect. All right, we're gonna bring this over, and I'm gonna get this right here in the middle. Try to make sure it is as centered as possible. Just something very simple. All right, let's burnish it. And let's remove this transfer tape. It is coming up really good. So far I love the white on the brown. Yes. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. That white pops really nicely on the brown. And then I'll just feed this back inside here off camera so I can play with the twine. But this is what it looks like, and it looks really good. All right, let's move on to our last project. Okay, so for the last project, I am going to put something on this glass. This is the Sublimation Blank frosted glass from Hobby Lobby. It comes with a lid and a straw, and I actually have a glass like this that I need to get rid of, so I am just going to swap this new one, this fall one, out for the old one that I have. And we're gonna sit this off to the side. As I mentioned, I'm not going to be sublimating this one today, but we have a lot of layering to do here. So, of course, that means I have a lot of weeding to do. I think all of this is Oracle 651, except for this blue, which is 405 permanent from Hobby Lobby. All right, let me start with this, and then I'm definitely not going to have you all sit here and, you know what? Nope. Let me show you how we're going to start this. We're actually going to start with this. And with this color, what I'm going to do is get this pulled up on my laptop so I can make sure that I have everything in the right position. Okay, so I have it pulled up on my laptop. I am going to definitely reverse weave this because there are a lot of small pieces and I don't want to put myself through any unnecessary stress. So I'm going to cut this down and then I'm going to take this off, the transfer tape. Expose just a little bit of it. All right, I'm going to take my transfer tape and just put a little bit on my mat just to secure it, and then slowly pull this little lip here and get it all down. All right, give it a burnish. We have some bubbles in here, but it should be okay. And then it'll come right off. Yep, just like that. And then we take it and we remove all the negative space. And what we want from this vinyl will stay on the transfer tape. As you can see, I have everything, that first layer, all weeded out. I'm gonna go ahead and weed out all of these layers and then come back. Okay, so I have all of the colors weeded out. I have this little piece of blue here because I used scrap vinyl for this blue, so I had to cut it out the best way I could. There was some wasted vinyl, but honestly, with this project, I'm going to say that it is worth it being wasted. So let's see. Let's start with this green over here. I'm gonna use some parchment paper to help with this so I don't have things sticking down sooner than I want it to. I do want to start with this one right here on this side. So I'm going to uncover that one and use the parchment paper method to help me out. All right, so this, the top of the pumpkin for this one goes here. I have to make sure this doesn't stick to my mat. Okay. All right, that one is in place. Let's see if I can. Yes, they're all in place. Wonderful. Let's burnish this from the back. And take this up. The goal here is to lay it down onto my glass all at one time. If you haven't already figured that part out, that's why I'm layering it here on the transfer sheet, because trying to layer on this glass would be a doozy. Okay, let's do the purple next. All right, so we have the entire design on our transfer sheet. Layering definitely takes time. So I'm gonna get this on the glass. Before we get anything put on the glass, I do want to just wipe it down really quickly, although I just pulled it out the box, but you know, just to make sure that our vinyl adheres to the glass with no issues. All right, so here we go. Let's finally get this on here. I am going to start by doing that. And I think I'm going to just allow one side to fall, and I'm slowly gonna turn it. Okay, finally got it on there. It looks so good. I love it. It came out so nicely. A little bit of a labor of love, but it definitely came out nice. I love how this turned out. So this was my last project. I'm going to bring back the other 3 so we can take one last look at them before we go. Okay, so we have all of the projects back in the camera. I really do love the way they all turned out. I love the way this white pops off of the brown, and I can now hang this in my craft space. I can replace my summer keychain with my new fall keychain, which I really do love. And of course, the glass that we did lots of layering on, that was a labor of love, but came out really great. I cannot wait to use this. And the coaster with its simplicity, I love it. And I love the idea of stenciling on the coaster. So I hope you all enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me as I crafted today. I hope you were inspired to make a little something for your home or maybe for someone in your life. But before you go, don't forget to like the video, leave a comment down below. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider subscribing. We would love to have you. And of course, don't forget to turn on your bell notification so you don't miss a future video of mine. Until next time, later CB crew.